You do everything right. You buy the best food, the litter box is spotless, you give them all the cuddles in the world. But what if I told you that some of those loving habits are actually the source of your cat's silent, chronic stress? Today, we're going to dive into the hidden world of what's really going on in your cat's head, and it all starts with a pretty tough question.
Look, I know it's a hard question to ask. We all think we're giving our cats the absolute best life. But the truth is, we're often missing these tiny, subtle signals that they're living in a constant state of low-grade anxiety. And when you look at the research, it's honestly pretty shocking.
Yeah, you're seeing that right. 70%. Research from the University of Lincoln found that up to 70% of our domestic cats show signs of chronic stress in their own homes. That's more than half by a long shot. And the reason for this usually comes down to a fundamental mismatch in how they see the world versus how we do.
So, to really get this, we have to do something kind of weird. We need to stop thinking like a human and try to see the world through their eyes. It's a world that's all about patterns, super senses, and ancient instincts that we've totally forgotten.
This right here is one of the biggest disconnects. For us, a routine is nice to have, right? It's convenient. But for a cat, it's a deep neurological need. Their brains are literally wired to find comfort and predictability. So, when you feed them an hour late, it's not just a minor inconvenience to them. Oh no, it's a world-shattering event that actually triggers a stress response. There is even a case of a cat named Oliver who developed a painful urinary tract infection simply because his owner rearranged the furniture. That's how much they need things to stay the same.
And it's not just their sense of time, it's their hearing. I mean, think about it. To us, the vacuum cleaner is just loud and annoying. But to a cat who can hear frequencies more than 3 times higher than we can, that sound can be physically painful. A study at Ohio State actually measured the cortisol levels, the stress hormone, in cats exposed to these everyday noises, and their stress spikes were the same as what we'd feel in a situation that was genuinely terrifying. Here's another one. We think of our homes in 2 dimensions, floor space. But cats, they see your home in 3 dimensions. Their wild ancestors were always climbing trees, right? It was for safety, to survey their territory, and to get away from predators. That instinct is still hardwired into your little house cat. So when they don't have high places to go, like cat trees or even just clear bookshelves, they feel exposed, they get bored, and they get seriously stressed out.
And just look at what a difference it makes. A 70% reduction in stress behaviors. That is huge. This shows us that vertical space isn't a luxury, it's not just a fun toy, it is one of the single most important things you can give your cat for their mental health. It gives them back a sense of control over their world.
All right, so let's shift gears from the environment to how we actually interact with them one-on-one. Because it's not just about their space, it's about learning to speak their language. We're often showing affection in a way that they just don't get. Or even worse, they find it threatening.
Okay, I'm sure this has happened to you. You're petting your cat, they're purring away, everything seems great, and then bam, they hiss or bite you and bolt. What just happened? Well, it's a real thing. It's called petting-induced aggression. A cat's skin has incredibly sensitive nerve endings, so what starts out as a really pleasant sensation can quickly become overwhelming sensory overload. It's kind of like being tickled. It's fun for a few seconds, but if it doesn't stop, it becomes unbearable.
So, what's the solution? Well, it's actually pretty simple. We need to ask for consent. And the 3 to 5 second rule is the perfect way to do this. Just pet your cat for a few seconds, then pause. Take your hand away. If they lean into you or nudge your hand for more, great, they're saying yes. But if they just sit there or move away even slightly, respect it. They're done. A viewer actually told me that after trying for 6 months to bond with a shy rescue cat, this one simple technique completely transformed the relationship in just 2 weeks. It's that powerful.
And it's not just how we show affection, it's when. If you ignore your cat for days and then suddenly smother them with attention, you're creating what's basically emotional whiplash. That inconsistency teaches them that your love is unpredictable, and that leads to anxious attachment, which then leads to all the behaviors that drive us crazy, like meowing constantly or knocking all your stuff off the counter. They're just trying to get a predictable reaction from you.
Okay, let's zoom back out and look at the whole house again. Because where you put their stuff, their food, their water, their litter box, can be the difference between a cat that feels secure and one that's a nervous wreck. For cats, it is all about location, location, location.
These are the 3 cardinal sins of litter box placement. First, cats are instinctively hardwired not to eliminate where they eat to avoid contaminating their food source. Makes sense, right? Second, they feel incredibly vulnerable when they're doing their business, so putting the box in a busy hallway is like setting up a toilet in the middle of a train station. And third, shoving it in a tight corner with no escape route feels like a trap to an animal that still thinks like prey. This isn't your cat being picky, you guys. This is pure survival instinct.
And speaking of feeling safe, every single cat needs a place to just disappear when they feel overwhelmed. This study from the Netherlands is just mind-blowing. The simple act of giving a stressed-out shelter cat a cardboard box helped them adapt to their new, scary environment 3 times faster. A hiding spot isn't just a fun little quirk. It is a fundamental psychological need.
And finally, let's talk about a sense we barely even think about: smell. You see those numbers? That pleasant lemon-scented cleaner you love is a full-on chemical assault to an animal with 200 million scent receptors. But even worse than that, when you clean too much, you're erasing their scent markers. You know, the invisible pheromones they rub on furniture to say, "This is mine, I am safe here." When their scent is gone, they're forced into this constant state of insecurity, always trying to remark a territory that to them constantly smells like a stranger's house.
Okay, I know that was a ton of information, and you might be thinking, oh my gosh, I'm doing everything wrong. But please don't. The best part about all of this is that the solutions are actually incredibly simple and super easy to start doing, like today. You have all the power you need to turn your home into a total feline paradise.
So here it is, your cheat sheet. This isn't about spending a ton of money or redesigning your whole house. It's about the small things. It's about consistency in their schedule. It's about giving them a quiet closet to retreat to and a clear spot on top of the bookshelf. It's about moving their water bowl away from their litter box. And it's about setting aside just 10 minutes a day for dedicated, predictable playtime. These tiny adjustments speak directly to their deepest instincts and build a foundation of trust that will change everything.
So the next time your cat is hiding under the bed or scratching the sofa or meowing its head off, try not to see it as them just being a bad cat. See it for what it is, a message. They are communicating their stress, their needs, in the only language they know. The real question is, now that you understand their language a little better, what are you going to do about it?
Before you go, remember this. Your cat is doing something right now that most owners completely miss. At Feline Frontier, we don't just share cute cat facts. We uncover the hidden meanings, the quiet signals, and the strange behaviors your cat uses every single day to communicate with you. From the sounds that instantly calm a stressed cat, to the tiny habits that prove they trust you, to the mistakes that silently hurt them more than you realize. Everything here is designed to help you understand your cat on a deeper level. So if you've ever looked at your cat and thought, "What are you really trying to tell me?" You're in the right place. Make sure you subscribe to Feline Frontier, because the next video might explain something your cat has been waiting years for you to understand. See you in the next frontier of feline truth.